U.S. Citizenship Test to get a Trump-era update. What to know with USCIS Director Joseph Edlow. Becoming a U.S. citizen means passing an English and civics test. Soon that test may change yet again, this time under the leadership of Joseph Edlow, who officially became USCIS Director on July 18, 2025. If you're applying for citizenship or helping someone study, here's what you need to know. The current 2008 version is simple, with 1 up to 100 questions that an applicant needs to study. With Joseph Edlow, the new USCIS Director, the civics test may change and focus on a Trump-era update. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joseph Edlow has been vocal about his views on the existing citizenship test, saying that it is not very difficult and too easy. His primary concern is that the current format allows applicants to simply memorize answers rather than fostering a deeper understanding of American principles and governance. Edlow explicitly links the proposed test changes to a wider sweeping immigration overhaul being planned by the current administration. His perspective is rooted in the belief that granting citizenship should be a net positive for the United States. He emphasizes the importance of attracting individuals who will advance certain economic agendas and otherwise benefit the national interest. This viewpoint aligns with an America First philosophy, which prioritizes the perceived direct benefits to the U.S. economy and existing workforce when considering immigration policies. To provide a clear and concise understanding of the differences between the current 2008 civics test and the 2020 Trump-era version that Director Edlow seeks to reinstate, the following table visually shows the key changes. This side-by-side comparison is invaluable for quickly grasping the magnitude of the proposed shift and its direct implications for aspiring citizens. It highlights the quantitative and qualitative differences, serving as a quick reference point for anyone interested in the naturalization process. For the 2008 version of the current test, the total number of questions to study is 100, while for the 2020 version of the Trump-era tests, the total number of questions to study is 128. The questions asked by the immigration officer during the naturalization interview are up to 10 questions for the 2008 version of the current test, while there are 20 questions for the 2020 version of the Trump-era test. The correct answers to pass are 6 out of 10 for the 2008 version of the current test, and there are 12 out of 20 for the 2020 version of the Trump-era test. The pass rate is 60%, but there are more questions for the 2020 version of the Trump-era test compared to the 2008 version of the current test. The immigration officer stops the test after the applicant can pass the 2008 version of the current test, while the immigration officer asks all 20 questions for the 2020 version of the Trump-era test. For overall difficulty, the 2008 version of the current test is considered easier, allowing for memorization, while the 2020 version of the Trump-era test is significantly harder, with increased complexity and vocabulary, and twice as long. The only thing that remains unchanged between versions is the English test, which will remain the same. President Donald Trump has referred to naturalization as one of the most priceless gifts ever granted by human hands and honor his administration will soon make harder to obtain. Director Joseph Edlow said, "These changes would help participants better understand American civics. Still, some questions have proven difficult to answer, even for American-born citizens who may have forgotten their U.S. history lessons." According to Edlow, the revisions are expected to happen soon, but a specific timeline has not yet been established. He may reintroduce tougher elements from the 2020 revision and tighten exemptions for older or disabled applicants. The possible changes include restoring a larger question pool of up to 128 questions, raising the number of correct answers needed to pass, eliminating or narrowing certain age and disability-related exemptions, and standardizing English speaking and writing prompts. Stay informed because rules can change, but preparing thoroughly now will help you succeed, no matter which version you face. Follow this channel because we'll bring you clear, step-by-step guidance as soon as Edlow's new civics test becomes official. So, what do you think? Do you think the U.S. citizenship test should be made more difficult than it currently is? Give us your opinions. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the latest on U.S. citizenship updates and free study guides. Thank you for watching.